See, in the last class we discussed about specifying constraints on supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay. See, continuation of that topic already we discussed in the previous classes. Okay. Actually, uh, I will give brief discussion about this one. Okay. Are you able to see this? Okay. See, constraints, specifying constraints on supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay, so actually this specifying constraints on the supertype subtype, we can say them into two types. We can divide them into two types, that is the completeness constraints. Are you able to see completeness constraints?
No, ma'am.
Are you able to see?
ಒಪ್ಪಡ್ತಲೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
I will show in PDF only. Okay. See here, specifying constraints on the supertype subtype is actually we will represent these constraints in two types, that is completeness constraints and disjointness constraint. So what these constraints will specify, the completeness constraint will specify that whether the instance of a supertype should be member of one subtype or not. We should know that one. Okay, the member of supertype should be the instance of a supertype should be the member of any one of the subtype, at least one subtype, member of at least one subtype or not. We should know that one. So based on that, the instance of a supertype is member of a subtype or not, we will say these completeness constraints is again two types, that is total specialization rule and partial specialization rule. Okay, so these constraints actually we will put these constraints in two ways, that is either completeness constraint or disjointness constraint. Okay, so this completeness constraint will show, completeness constraint is again we can put those rules or constraints again in two types, that is total and partial specialization rule. Okay, so now you see this example, we will see one example. See, now if we see this example, employee is a supertype. Okay. Now for example, here we have some instances like this for employee table. Okay. So what are those instances? See, for employee table, the instances are like this. Now for the employee table, see, for employee table, the instances are like this. Suppose for employee table, the instances are for employee number, employee name, address, and date head. Okay. So what we will do, we have some records, some 5 records, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now the employee one should be either hourly employee, salaried employee or contract employee. He may not be all the three at a time. So what we will say, the instance of this employee, that means the one record of this employee is member of any one of the subtype in the relationship. Then we call it as total specialization rule. So what we need at that time, we need to put a line like this. See, a line like this. Then we call it as a total specialization rule. Okay. Then what is partial specialization rule? Suppose if the instance of this employee or super type is not member of any one of the subtype, then we call it as a partial. Okay. Now if you take the same employee, now we have employee 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 employees we have. These 4 should be member of, either it should be hourly, salaried or contract. Okay. If he is not member, we will say it's not an employee. At that time, we will say this is a total specialization rule. Okay. Now suppose for example, you see like this. You see another example. Now you take this example. So here we have three special entity types: motorcycle, car and truck. Okay. So from these special entity types, we constructed a super type subtype hierarchy like this. Okay. So here the car is having its own features, truck is having its own features. Then what about motorcycle? Here we have another special entity type, motorcycle. So what we are doing, instead of taking this motorcycle, price, vehicle ID, vehicle name and engine displacement, all these are common properties of a vehicle. Car is a vehicle, truck is a vehicle. Okay. Now car has all these features, can have all these features and have its own features. Truck has all these features and have its own features. But motorcycle has only these features. So what we are doing when we are constructing super type or subtype hierarchy, what will happen? We remove this motorcycle entity type. So what happens when we say vehicle? Now if we have an entity type motorcycle, so when we say these are the properties of motorcycle, there is no a member for that motorcycle. Okay, then we call it as partial specialization rule. Okay, so from that data we constructed an ER diagram like this, model, supertype subtype hierarchy. So there is no motorcycle. So the instance of super type vehicle is not member of any of the subtype. Then we call it as a partial specialization rule. Okay. So the partial specialization rule is represented by a single line. Okay. Total specialization means the instance of the super type should be member of any one of the subtype in the relationship. Then it is called total. If the instance of any one of the super type is not member of any one of the subtype, then we call it as a partial. If we take an instance car, it should have all these properties and it should have number of passengers. Then we say it is member of this either car or truck. If you take a motorcycle, all these properties it have, but it is not an instance of any of the subtype. Then we call it as a partial specialization rule. Did you understand? అర్థమైందా? అర్థమైందా అమ్మా? వింటున్నారా అసలు?
Yes ma'am, అర్థమైంది.
Okay, now this is completeness constraint. Next we will see disjointness constraint. What is disjointness constraint will tell whether the instance of a super type is member of one subtype or more subtypes. We need to know whether the instance of super type is member of one subtype or more subtype. Based on this, we can put two type of constraints on the supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay, those two constraints or rules are disjoint rule and overlap rule. Okay, so what this disjoint rule will say, the instance of supertype should be member of only one subtype, then we call it as a disjoint. Okay, so previously we said that in total specialization rule, is this total specialization rule? Can you tell me? Is this example total specialization rule or not? ఇది టోటల్ స్పెషలైజేషన్ రూలా కాదా? ఇది
Yes, ma'am.
చూసి చెప్పండి. Is it total
Total
specialization rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Why? Because the instance of patient should be if you have
Out or
any
in.
person come to hospital, he should be either inpatient or outpatient. Okay, now when he come to hospital, we will say him as a patient. So if he has some problem, he may join in the hospital. If he doesn't have problem, we'll say him as an outpatient. So the instance of patient is member of any one of the subtype, compulsory. So what we are saying, it is called total specialization rule. Okay, now what we are saying, what is a disjoint rule? The instance of supertype should be member of only one subtype. Okay, now you say this is a total specialization rule, and a patient when he come to hospital, he should be either outpatient or he should be resident patient, but he may not be both or nothing. Okay, he should be one, he should be member of one subtype, then we call it as disjoint rule. Are you getting? So here in the circle we need to write D. Are you getting my point? The disjoint and overlap rule should be total specialization rule. Okay, for a partial specialization rule, we don't get either disjoint or overlap. Okay, so if it is a disjoint or overlap, then it should be a total specialization rule. Okay, now what is this? Here this is what constraints we put on this hierarchy. Here this hierarchy shows that it is a total disjoint rule. Are you getting my point? Okay, now you take another example. Now you take this example. Now what this example say? Now you tell me whether it is total or not. Is it total or kada?
Employee da, ma'am.
This one.
So
Employee should be either hourly, salaried or contract. He should be member of any one of the subtype. Then we will say it is a total specialization rule. Okay. Now the instance of this employee should be member of only one subtype for one instance. Are you getting my point? If we have record one, employee one, it should be either hourly or salary or contract, not all the three at a time. So what we call it as, this is a total disjoint rule. Are you getting my point? Understood? This is called total disjoint rule. Okay. Now we will see total overlap rule. Overlap rule means if the instance of supertype is member of more than one subtype at a time. Okay, now suppose, now you see this example. Now when I was assembling some part, okay, when I was assembling some system, okay, so what I will do, when I was making an item, I will do some manufacturing parts. I need to do myself some parts. Are you getting? and some parts we need to purchase some from some company. Okay, so in order to do some in order to develop or in order to assemble some system, we need two types of parts. Okay, that is, we need some manufacturing parts, we need some purchased parts. Now you take this example. Now part is an super type. Okay, now you take some, instead of part you take some item. Here instead of I was taking item. Now all these are properties of some item which we need to assemble. Okay, now when I was assembling some part, I should manufacture myself, and some parts I should get from some organization. Okay, from some supplier. So for a single instance item, sometimes we may need two types of parts. Are you getting? So what do you call this? Sometimes we need only purchased parts, but sometimes we need both the parts. Now what you will say? The instance of item is member of any one of the subtype. So what you call this? It is a total. Okay, and sometimes the instance of this super type is member of both the subtypes. Then you call it as overlap rule. Okay, we will represent with O in the circle. Are you getting? This is called overlap rule. Okay, so specifying constraints on the supertype subtype hierarchies are especially divided into, we can say them in two types, that is completeness constraints and disjointness constraints. The completeness constraints will say whether instance of a supertype is member of a subtype or not. If the instance of a supertype is member of at least one subtype in the hierarchy, then we call it as a total specialization rule. So we will represent a total specialization rule with double line. Okay, then what is partial? If the instance of supertype is not member of any one of the subtype, then we call it as a partial. We will specify it with a single line. Okay, now again the disjointness constraints is again two types, that is disjoint rule and overlap rule. If the instance of a supertype is member of only one subtype, then we call it as a disjoint. So we will represent with as total disjoint rule. Okay, then overlap rule. If the instance of a supertype is member of more than one subtype, then we call it as a overlap. So it will be total overlap rule. Okay, we have to represent O in the circle, which we need to use link between supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay, this is called supertype subtype, specifying constraints on supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay, do you have any doubts? Shall I continue? Huh?
No, ma'am.
Okay. See, now we need to say that defining subtype discriminators. Okay, what do we mean by subtype discriminators? See, in this example, now you see this example. Now, this is an hierarchy. Okay, supertype subtype hierarchy. Now, what I am saying, the employee is a supertype which has all the common properties. Okay. Now, hourly employee, salaried employee, contract employee are the subtypes which inherit or which will get all the common properties from the supertype, and every subtype has its own unique properties. Okay. Now, suppose, what do we mean by this subtype discriminator? Subtype discriminator, it is a constraint, or we will say it as a value. Subtype discriminator is a value which is used to specify the subtype. Okay, we need to specify what subtype. Okay, now here For this employee super type, we have the properties employee number, employee name, address, employee type, and date head. Okay. Now, how do you know whether this hourly employee, this particular person is hourly employee? When I say employee type, if I say employee type is H, then we retrieve data from the hourly employee. Okay. So here what we need to know a subtype discriminator. So what we need, here we will take a new attribute called subtype discriminator. So what I will take here, I will take employee type. Okay. Now when employee type is equal to H, then we say is hourly employee. Then what we will do? We will join these two tables. How we will join? How we'll make relation? By using primary key and foreign key. Okay. Then we can retrieve data from these two tables. When I say employee type is equal to yes, then we will say he is a salaried employee. Then we can join these two tables. Okay. If I say employee type is C, then we will call them as contract employee. Then we will join these two tables and we will retrieve data. So this attribute E type, the values in this attribute is called subtype discriminator. Okay, by using the value in this employee type, we can know whether he is hourly, salaried or contract employee. Based on that, we will join these two tables. How is it possible? We are making an association between employee and hourly employee. Okay, this is called subtype discriminator. These are all about supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay, understood? What we learn in supertype subtype hierarchies? In this supertype subtype hierarchy, it is an enhanced ER model where we will represent data in a supertype subtype hierarchy based on the values in the attribute. Okay. So here we learn how to construct the supertype subtype hierarchy, how to construct using generalization rule, and how to construct using specialization rule, and specifying some constraints on this supertype subtype hierarchies. These all we will learn in this supertype subtype hierarchies. Okay, did you understand? Any doubts? ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా అమ్మ? రాకేష్ రాకేష్ నీలిమ
Yes, ma'am.
వింటున్నారా అమ్మ?
వింటున్నాం మ్యామ్. నో డౌట్స్
ఏమైంది
మ్యామ్.
క్లాస్కి ఎందుకు వస్తలేరు అందరూ?
తెలీదు మ్యామ్. సిగ్నల్ ప్రాబ్లం అని చెప్తున్నారు అడిగితే. సిగ్నల్ ప్రాబ్లం అని చెప్తున్నారు అందరూ.
ఇంతమందికి ఉంటుందా?
కొందరు ఫీల్డ్ వర్క్ ఉంది అని చెప్తున్నారు మ్యామ్. ఫీల్డ్ వర్క్.
సరే నెక్స్ట్ we will see transforming into ER models. మీకు లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ గుర్తుందా? హౌ టు ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ ఇంటూ ER మోడల్ గుర్తుందా అమ్మ?
లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ నేను అటెండ్ అవ్వలేదు మ్యామ్.
See, now we will see transforming ER diagrams into relations. రాకేష్ ఉన్నదే ఇద్దరు అందులో మళ్ళీ ఒకరు రెస్పాండ్ అవుతలేరు. మీకు హాలిడేస్ ఇచ్చేసరికి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అంతా పోయింది, వేస్ట్ ఇచ్చేది మీకు. transforming ER model or ER diagram into relations. Okay, that means here we are performing transformation of ER model into relational model. Okay, now ఇప్పుడు ER, what is this ER model? We are representing the data in ER diagrams, that is in graphical format in the previous example. Okay, now next what we need to implement that ER model into relational model. So what is relational model? Representing the data which we have collected and putting constraints on the data, and we need to show the data in the form of tables or relations. Okay, now దీనికి సంబంధించిన all the things about this I explained you on the Monday on Monday class, I think. Okay, no, Tuesday class. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to map an ER model or graphical format into relational model. So here in DBMS, to implement this relational model, we will use some software. Okay, so here we are using an Oracle software. Okay, are you listening? So here what we need to implement this ER model into relational model. So what I am doing here, I was using some software. So when we are designing data in a graphical format ER model, there we need to specify all the constraints also. How we are specifying? Where some attributes are primary key, some of them are foreign key, all these we are representing in the ER model. The same, and we are also putting some constraints, cardinality constraints, supertype, subtype constraints on the hierarchies. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to transform this ER model into relational model. Okay, now you see one of the example. Now we have an example of ER model like this. Okay, now you see what is this? Customer is an entity type with the properties customer ID, where customer ID is primary key, customer name, it is a composite attribute which decomposed into first name and last name and address. Now what we need to do, we need to transform this into tables. Now there is a relationship between customer and order. Now what is the relationship? Customer submits order. Okay, so a customer submits an order or he may not submit. Okay, an order is submitted by one customer. Every customer will submit an order, other customer will submit order, one or more orders, 0, 1 or more orders he can submit. So this is the relationship between the customer and order. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to change this diagram into tables. Okay, now in previous classes also we learned an example like this, some examples. I'll show some previous example. See this example. Now an employee is, or you see this example. ఇది చూడండి, purchased part is supplied by supplier. Okay, supplier supplies purchased part. Okay, a supplier supplies 0 or more parts. Okay, now a purchased part is supplied by 1 or more suppliers. Okay, now this is the association. In previous classes also we see one example like this. An employee, now we have employee works in department, and also we had an association between employee and department also. So what we need to do, we need to transform this ER model into relation. Okay, into tables. So transforming this ER model into relations is called a relational model. We will represent this graphic format in tables. That is called relational model. Here we will also transform this into relational model. Okay. So now to transform this into relational model, we need some software. So we will use some software and create that tables or relations. Okay, now in our lab we will use software Oracle. Okay, now I'll show here how to use this Oracle and how to create this employee table. Okay, well, I'll show one example and I'll continue with the transformation. Okay, now I want to create this employee table and I want to make an association between employee hourly employee, employee salaried employee, employee and contract employee. Okay, now how to create that one? See here we have an Oracle software. Okay, now you like this, you need to start the Oracle. Okay, now here the password, you need to install this on your system. Okay, password is Tiger. Okay, see this is the environment where we will create the tables. Okay, after creating a table, you will have a table like this. Select employee name, employee number later. Okay, select employee name, comma, EMP number. See, this is the table where we created in our database. Are you getting? Like this, we need to create and we need to store the data. Okay, what we did, first we created structure like this, employee number, employee name, with the table name employee, and then we need to store values like this. Okay, I will show all this in the next class. Are you listening or not?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I will show all this, how to create this structure in Oracle. Okay. Now we are learning transforming an ER model into relation. Okay. What do you call this one? This is ER model. Now what you need to do, you need to transform this into our system. So we are using software Oracle. So it is called, so we are representing that same data there in relations or tables. That is called relational model. Okay, in the next class I'll show one or two examples how to create this employee entity type and how to associate between employee and department. Then now we'll show how to transform them into the tables. Okay, next class is very important. You inform to your friends also. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
Monday class is very important. You tell all your friends to attend Monday class. Okay, now I'll start class here. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.